9/11, welcome back. The Oklahoma State Senate has proposed a $12.3 billion budget for next year. 41 senators voted for the resolution despite there being some debate over some flat budget requests. Joining us now to talk about this, plus the latest on the ongoing legislative session, we have Senate Pro Tem Greg Treat. Good morning and thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Happy to have you here. Let's just kind of quickly break down this proposed budget here and what it all includes.
The main thing is we did it completely transparent in front of the public the entire time. All 48 senators were involved in it, and 3 of them voted against it, but 2 of the 3 that voted against it debated and said how great the process was. They just didn't think we spent enough.
Okay, and so what is your response to some of the concerns in the debate over agency heads not asking for enough because of the flat budget request? What's going on there?
The governor really put his thumb on the agencies and said you cannot ask for increased budgets, and so that's what some of the concern you saw expressed. But we went ahead and did our own work. And some agencies that requested flat budgets, we gave increase. Some who asked for flat, we actually decreased. So we took it under our own advisement and had it in complete, open, transparent way.
Okay, and so what happens next here after that vote?
So we let the governor and the speaker know where we're at on the budget, and now we're going into negotiations with the House. So the budget won't look like it does there, but what we wanted to do at the first part of this session was bring it out into the open. Traditionally, this has been done behind closed doors with 3 or 4 of us. We got all 48 senators involved. We got the public involved. Everyone knows what's going on in the Oklahoma budget now.
Okay, something we're going to keep an eye on, so keep us updated on that. Let's talk about the legislative session here. It's still ongoing. You have already said before that the Senate is would only take up that cut on the grocery tax when it comes to any tax cuts or things like that. The House actually recently passed a few more bills regarding some tax policy. For example, there was one to phase out corporate income tax, another creating a path to eliminate the state income tax, and some other ones. What are your thoughts on those as they pass the House and now move on to the Senate?
In Oklahoma, we have to pass a balanced budget. So the proposals they're sending to us put us out of whack on a balanced budget. I haven't seen a proposal yet. They sent us $3.5 billion in new spending. I don't know how in the world we can afford that. That's spending and cuts combined. And so we were very clear. We wanted to know how much we had to spend. We wanted to give Oklahomans relief they needed at the grocery store. We delivered on that, and we'll deliver on a good balanced budget.
Okay, and then I want to ask you about this one. Last week, you labeled Senator Devers and Senator Domb terrorists after they filibustered the Senate here. Senator Domb releasing a statement just shortly ago, saying kind of in part, it was kind of long, so just a quick recap here, saying it remains to be seen if Senator Treat believes that calling fellow senators terrorists for following the rules is acceptable behavior or if it constitutes inappropriate behavior worthy of punishment. So a lot going on here. Kind of just walk us through what happened in your response to.
Yeah, they were trying to hold up the process on good bills. They were trying to get bills to allow the execution of mothers who get an abortion is what they were trying to do. And then they were trying to do a bunch of other crazy bills. I should have probably called them toddlers, but when toddlers act up and they act that way, sometimes I call toddlers terrorists. You know, hey, you're trying to disrupt the deal. They were throwing a fit, a temper tantrum, and we didn't reward them with what they were trying to get done.
Okay, so I mean, they say that they were following the rules, but you're saying
they didn't violate any rules, but they filibustered and just were trying to get good bills not heard that would help Oklahomans, and it was frustrating on that day. I probably should have called them toddlers. They are the only 2 senators that voted against funding for the Oklahoma City bombing memorial to educate people on the extremism that led to the Oklahoma City bombing. And so the fact that they take issue with being called terrorists, I understand it. Should have called them toddlers.
Okay. And then let's talk about how you will be terming out of office in November here. Anything that you're looking to get done before then? What are your ultimate goals?
I'm trying to deliver on a car tag bill. My son was injured, almost died on January 5th in a car accident. Partially, he was pulled over, completely pulled over because our car tag laws are outdated. So I'm working on trying to fix those. He was injured because somebody fell asleep at the wheel and hit him from behind at 70 miles an hour. So this wouldn't necessarily solve that for everyone, but right now in Oklahoma, you can go without a tag for 60 days on a private sale. I'm trying to fix that and get that down to less than 10 days.
Okay. And then finally, any advice here to the next Senate Pro Tem as you term out and move on?
You're not going to please everyone. So just do what you think is right. Lead with wisdom, lead with integrity, and lead with humility.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate your time. Keep us updated on anything going on with the budget, anything going on in the legislative session, and we'll be in touch before November, I'm sure.
Thank you so much.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Thank you.